Hi there, my name's Andy Hillier and today's guitar lesson is going to be on, I think it's called Shooting Range, or it's called The Drive, and it's from Resident Evil 4 Remake. I think it's called The Drive Remake. Anyway, beautiful little song. I've done a cover version, so a full playthrough, so if you want to hear what it sounds like, check it out. I'll leave a link in the description and I'll put a card above if I remember. So I'm going to teach you how to play that today. But just before I do, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, which is Andy Hillier, give me a like on the video, press the notifications, leave me some comments in the comments section, including what songs I should do next. And if you love what I'm doing, you want to support me, support the channel, and you want the tabs for this and loads of other songs, then you can support me on my Patreon page. I'll leave a link to that in the description. My guitar is in standard tuning. Okay, so the first line sounds like this. Okay, so to play that, the first hit is I'm going to put my second finger on A3, first finger flat across the D and the G strings at the second fret, and you just strum down those three strings. We're then going to put the little finger on E5, and we're going to go down really quick, going E5, A3, D2, the G2, back to the D2, so you get, so really slowly, so you just strum down and then back up to the D string. Okay, if you struggle to do that, just sort of strum down the chord, it will sound cool as well. So far you got. We then have a little line that goes, which is B1, pull off to the open B, then G2, pulls off to the open G, then D4, pull off to D2, and then off to the D open string. So D4, D2, and then open D. And then you've got an A3, and then A2 going into bar 2. So the run goes a bit faster. Okay, so the first part up to there, you've got. Then we're going to take your little finger to E7. We play the E7, then third finger on A6. Then first finger is going to play the D4 and then the G4. So you got. Okay, so first two bars slowly. And then into bar 3, and we've got the same kind of shape that we started with. So you're going to put your second finger on fret 6 this time, A6, first finger flat across the D and the G strings at the 5th fret. You strum that down. And then we do the same idea that we did in the first bar. But the time to take our little finger to E5, second finger's on the A6, first finger flat across the D and the G strings at the 5th fret. And you go down and up, going E, A, D, G, D. Slowly. And then the little run this time goes, which is B4, pulls off to B3. If you struggle to do these pull-offs, you could play them. And then G5 pulls off to G3. Then D7 pulls off to D5, then to D4. And then you're going to play A6, then A5. So the little run goes a bit faster. Up speed. We're then going to play another A5, then D4, G2, then B3. Okay, so the whole line slowly goes. And then up to speed, it's kind of like this. And that line repeats, so you play it twice through. We then go on to the next line where I've got this. So for that, we're playing an A minor chord, first finger B1, second finger D2, third finger G2, and just strum down from the A string down to the B string. And then a little line that goes, which is on the G string. So G7 pulls off to G5, then G5 pulls off to G4, then G3, and you're going to hammer back onto G5, and then play G4. So you've got. We're then going to play E7 with the little finger, third finger on A6, first finger on D4, and then G4. So the first two bars of that line go. And then we've got this little bit that goes. So for that, D7, D6, D4, then A7. So you've got. Then D6, D4, A7, A5. So from the beginning of the bar. We then play D4, A7, A5, then another A5, and then another A5, then to A4, D6, G7, D6. We're then going to play a D flat chord. First finger A4, third finger flat across the D, G and the B strings at the 6th fret. And if you can bar your first finger to play that E4. Okay, so the whole line goes. Up speed. On to the next line, and the first two bars, we've just got an A minor chord and a B7 chord. First finger A2 and barred, third finger on the D4, little finger on the B4, middle 4 strings, and you just play from the A minor, 2, 3 to B7. Put a bit of rhythm into it. I'm just going down, up constantly, and I'm accenting da, da, da. And it does that 4 times round, A minor to the B7. And then that keeps on playing, but then the other guitar over the top, we play this. Okay, so for that, E5, 3 B8s, then B7, so it goes. Then B7, B8, B5, then 2 B5s, G7, G5. So from the bar 11, you've got. And then a little bit that goes, which is G4, G5, B5, back to G5, then G4. So that's in bar 14. And then a run that goes, which is G4, G5, G7, B5, B7, and then B8. So from bar 11, you've got this. And then on to the next line, we've got this. Okay, so for that, E5, and then E7, just going to do like a little trill into the E7 in the next bar. Then E5, B8, then B7. So you get then B7, B8 and B5. And then again, a little trill into B8, so B8 sort of 3 times. Then B7, B6, B5, then B4. So B8, B7, B5, then B4. So the whole line. Then on to the next line. The timing's a bit weird on this. You just got to play through it. It sounds like this. Oh, went wrong at the end, but you get the idea. So it starts D7, third finger, then G5, B5, E5. I'm using my first finger flat across that. Then little finger on E8. So we then go to this shape, which is actually a G7 chord. First finger fret 5 on the D string. Second finger on B6. Third finger G7. Little finger E7. And you're going to play the D5 and the E7 at the same time. And then B6, G7, B6, E7, and then B6. So you got slowly. Then take that same shape down 2 frets, and we play the fret 3 on the D string and E5 at the same time. Then B4, G5, B4, then up to E7. So you got, Then we're going to go down to the same shape but move down 1 more fret. Play 2 on the D string, 4 on the E string at the same time. Then B3, G4, B3, then E4. Okay, so the timing's a little bit weird, but the first 2 bars of that line go. Then the next 2 bars are basically the same. It just goes down to the fret 2 on the D string and the E4. And you just plays that twice. And there is a little line on the original that goes, which sort of takes you into a guitar solo. So it's just E4 twice, then B6, B5, and B3. And then I just do a guitar solo on my version, so I just improvise over the chords. A minor, G, F, E. So A minor, G, F, E. So now I have to play an A minor chord, a G chord, third finger E3, second finger on E3 nearest to your face, first finger A2, and then F chord, first finger barred across all the strings on the first fret, second finger G2, third finger A3, little finger D3, and then the E chord, first finger G1, second finger A2, third finger D2. So it just goes A minor, G, F, E, and put a bit of rhythm into it. So it goes. So just kind of down ups. I'm just pushing the G. So 1, 2, 3. So the G and the E come early, if that makes sense. So you have 1.5 beats on A minor, and then the G chord for the rest of the bar, and the same with F going to E. So. With rhythm. And then just improvise over the top of it. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed that guitar lesson and found it useful. If you have, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, which is Andy Hillier. Give me a like on the video, press the notifications, all that jazz. It really does help me out, as does giving me some comments. The more, the better. Just let me know where in the world you're from. Let me know what you thought of the video, or if you just want to say hi, just write hi. And if you love what I'm doing, you want to support me, support the channel, and you want the tabs for this and loads of other songs, then you can support me on my Patreon page. Link to that is in the description. Well, thanks for watching this. I do really appreciate it. I've been Andy Hillier, and I'll see you next time.